Welcome to another Smite tier list. This one's going to be quite different to what I've done before. It's going to be a Relic tier list, and it's actually going to be on how good they are or how likely I am to pick them up. Specifically as a solo lane, it will change for obviously different roles. But yeah, so nice and simple. Let's get started with Blink. Always a good pickup. You can never really go wrong with having Blink. Even on other roles, it's hard to argue with a Blink pickup. It just provides so much utility and versatility in it. Give you great initiation, which is what it should be used for ideally, but obviously there's times that you have to use it to escape or to not even engage, but just to get to the team fight. The fight's already started, you're late, and you have to blink through a wall. Sometimes that is the difference between winning a team fight and losing it. Blink is such a great relic, and is it 15% damage mitigation or is it 10% when you upgrade it? Amazing, and it's not even like it's got a short enough cooldown that you just put it on cooldown basically. Something I learned from watching pros and my friends players, just put Blink on cooldown. Especially like just blinking to a wave and solo, getting that first minion really helps. Or if you're playing tier, getting a relic dagger specifically so you can blink fearless more. Like blink is essential to, not essential, but very important to some gods. Like tier is a great example for that. Really helps with the initiation. All right, Bracer of. I was gonna say Bracer of Undoing. That's what it used to be. It's Bracer of Radiance now, right? Currently, it's just specific to if you're going a very powerful build yourself. But next patch, I could definitely see it moving up to not too bad. And even right now, I'm contemplating putting not too bad. It's a decent relic. But then it's kind of like, what would you pick it over? Because you're gonna get blink beads is probably just better than it. And then it's like, would you get instead of something else like a horrific a Thorns? I probably would get instead of Thorns, but yeah, I wouldn't get instead of something like Sunder. Granted, it's a team-wide buff that is a ward and can be upgraded to a sentry ward, and the stats on it will increase when it's upgraded. I think. I want to say it does. I haven't actually bought this item yet. I've bought it once. That's a lie. I bought it in Arena. I haven't played it in the Conquest because I haven't found a use for it yet. I have watched Fine OK just utterly dominate Haddix with it in a video, but that's besides the point. That's why I'm playing it specific. But it's a good. It's a good. So I'm gonna give it. Bracer and Doing, however, put that down here. But yeah, Bracer of Radiance in that tier. Kerston is kind of the same thing. Obviously, specific because you're going to get it if you're playing against for mana. If you're playing against for mana, just get this relic. His ult is useless, so we'll get him killed. But but it can also be used if you're playing against like a healer comp. Obviously, if they have like an Afro, Sylvanas, Hell, like it's good against them. Like group healers or specific healers, people that are devoted to healing or have a ability to devote to healing. But there's someone like, even if you're playing with someone like Tyr, it's not a bad pickup, but I wouldn't say it's the best pickup. But you can pick it against Tyr, and when he uses his 2 on his blue stance, he'll be like, "Ow, now I'm taking more damage." Or like an Olorin, or someone that just has like healing, but not. It's not really you don't think of their healing as like their quintessential part of their kit. But always get it if you're playing against for mana. Please. The amount of time I see people not getting, I'm like, how are you not know this? Okay, Battle Frenzy, not too bad. It's a pretty good one. Maybe more so for supports. I should maybe move it down to get something else, because it's not a bad relic, but if your support is getting it, yeah. I'm going to move it down to get something else, because your support should get it, not you. Because it's meant for objective shred, which, well, to get objectives faster, which you're not going to be involved in as a solo laner. You want to be zoning with your jungler and making sure that the enemy don't get anywhere near the objective. So get something else instead of Battle Frenzy. You don't often use it for team fights, but you can, and it's perfectly valid to use in team fights, obviously. It has a really short cooldown as well, which I quite like about it. It's a good relic. And like you can definitely use it as a solo laner, but I would say get something else. Horrific, not too bad. Provides you with a lot of like, I don't want to say versatility, but it definitely helps you dive if you're playing someone like Tyr. Let's go with Tyr. You know, you blink onto their backline, you fearless them. With both fearlesses, you have no cooldowns. It's like, well, crap, they're just gonna run away from me. So you're against like a Ram or something. It's like, oh crap, they're just gonna roll away from me and get away, and then you just use horrific before they roll, and it's like, oh wait, no, he's rolled, but he's now can't move. Well, he can move, but very slowly, and so you catch up to him and fearless and kill him. But it also helps you walk onto their guys because it makes them do 15% less damage when upgraded, which is really useful. Like you can definitely make an argument to pick something else, and that's perfectly fine. And I wouldn't disagree with you, but probably sorry, it's not a bad relic at all. It can also be used for a disengage if you need to run away. It also slows down the enemy team. It can do less damage to you, but ideally you would use it for that. Yeah, well, we all know where this relic's going. I don't care if it's been used in SPL. I think it was used on the support. I think it was genetics that bought it. No. Just no. The only time we see it being useful if she's doing a Chunga no back challenge. And that's very, very, very specific. That's too specific to even go specific as fuck. It's just not good. It's just not good. Like, in theory, it's like, oh, it gives you health and mana. Oh, that sounds great. It's like, no, it's just not. Even upgraded, it's just not that good. It doesn't give you enough. Like, you should just get something like Blink or Beads or something else instead, like Sprint or something. Just not not this one, please, please, I beg. Just stop buying Meditation Cloak, even in support. Just don't buy it. Unless it's proven to be good. Phantom Veil, specific as fuck, because you can only use it against 4 gods effectively. Emoji, Ymir, Thor, and Odin. I'm probably missing one or something, but those are the 4 I can think of off the top of my head. Obviously, it's most used against Odin because of his big cage, but Thor Wall and Ymir Wall are both valid reasons to get it, and Umoja Wall is a valid reason to get it. Because if Umoja lets you lock down in there, that's a lot of damage. If you get trapped by a Thor Wall, then well, where are you gonna go? It's very useful if you're playing a team comp that doesn't have a jump. Because all player-made walls can be jumped over, obviously. But so say you're playing a mobile people, like you're playing a Sylvanish, playing a like even someone like a Tyr that has elite but is his ult. Is that class as elite? I guess it is. It's like, well, and then you're playing like, I don't know, Artemis, Olarin. Why would you play Olarin mid? Soul mid's fine. And then like your jungler's like junglers typically pretty much always have a leap. I guess Raven, because Raven would be quite similar to Tyr and it'd be in his ult. It's like if you're playing that kind of comp, none of you can really get past the wall and you're all just stuck. Like specific as fuck. If you're playing Autumn Jake on Ymir, yeah, definitely get that item. He has the best walls I've seen for a long time. But I love Phantom. I think it's great. I don't even remember what its passive does. Oh, nice passive his upgrade does, other than reduces the timer. The only qualm I have with it is you have to get a Relic Dagger just for it to be useful against ults, because half the time Like Odinot. Because like Odinot's on too short a cooldown to use Phantom for it every time. Granted, if you're having fights that fast, then it's probably on you. But even still, it's iffy. So that's really not great inflation. Sorry, I'm tired. I just woke up. Always good beats. I mean, what do I need to say? It stops you getting CC'd. Like, what else do you want from me? Sure, coming down on his ultimate upgrade. Um, yeah, it's just arguably the best relic of the song alongside Blink. It's just yeah. All right, Aegis. Psych, what are you doing with this in the solo lane? The only time you're allowed to do like an Aegis is if you're playing someone that doesn't belong in the solo lane, like an Upwash or Yanis. You're playing a mage basically, a mage or an ADC. Then that's fine. Aegis away because you're meant to have Aegis anyway because playing. You're basically playing as a second mage. You won't have a front line. However, I do even on Upwash. I get horrific instead of Aegis. That's just me though. Like, I just don't like Aegis or Sanctuary as it used to be called. I just don't like it. It's horrible. I hate buying it even on ADCs and mids. I would prefer to buy like a Sundering or a Blink or something else. Just no. Ugh. I need to stop yawning. Shell. Shell's gonna go in to get something else. It's very much a supportive item, which is fine to have on the solo lane, and I don't think it's a bad pickup on the solo lane. Well, I do, that's why putting it something else, but it's like, I just don't like it personally. I don't like even getting on support anymore. Since they nerfed it, I haven't found it very useful. It might change with. I mean, Shell should be good right now because it's auto attack hunters, auto attack junglers, but it's like not good. Even upgraded, it just doesn't fulfill a need that you have. So you end up wasting a relic slot for it. So it wouldn't be the worst. That's why I've put it in. Get something else. Thorns back in the day would have always been here. Thorns should probably go here, but I'm probably going to put it down here for currently. Thorns I love. I love Thorns. It's just not the best right now. I'm going to get in not too bad. It's not in its best point right now. It doesn't provide as much as you would like. However, it still provides a decent incentive for people to stop shooting you, even if just for a second. Especially if they're alone, they have to think, well, will this auto kill me? And if it does, then, well, crap, I've just let my team down. It's a really fun relic to use, and it's really good if they have multiple hunters, or if they're playing something a bit unorthodox, and it's really useful. But if they're playing like standard, it might struggle to be built over just a simple Blink Beads combo. Or even like a Blink Phantom or a Blink Onk or something like that, you know? So it's it might be in a specific role right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave there actually. It's specific right now, but it's not too bad, but it's more specific now than it was like a year ago. Sprint, not too bad. Look, it's the two that mirror each other in my head. Obviously, Sprint gives you extra movement speed, and I believe it's attack speed in the upgraded version, which really is helpful, especially if you're playing like right now. You have the bow build. If your support goes Sprint, you get that extra little bit of attack speed. It's like, wow, I'm doing damage now. Sure, it's not like anything special, but it's just a little something that can be added on. But I wouldn't even think of Sprint like that. I think like Okay, what's their team called? What have they got? They've got a Tsukiyomi Gilgamesh. Okay, Sprint, because that is slow central. They got a backstory. Oh well, this sprint is out because the slow on that is insanely annoying. They have like, but Gilgamesh and Suki are definitely the two where I contemplate the most because Suki obviously has slow on his one, slow on his three. Gilg has a slow on his one and his ult, and it's like, you know, I honestly just get sprint just to get out of Gilgamesh ult because you know it's a nice easy way. It saves you using a beads for it. Although beads against Gilgamesh isn't bad, it just you don't often save beads for a Gilgamesh ult because well, it's not like it wouldn't be on the high on my priority list, you know. A dropkick would definitely be above it, and then their jungler would be above it, and then their mid would be above it, and then it would be Shamash. So it's like, yeah, it serves its role well, and I think that's why it's not too bad. Sunder currently always good. Sunder next patch is going to be not too bad. Sunder originally was, what the fuck are you doing with this? So obviously this is this patch, so we're going to put in always good. But next patch, keep in mind it will move down. It'll be less important to get. But even like, actually, I'm going to go in not too bad because I think these two are in a league of their own. Like, even as good as Sunder is right now, would you build a Sunder over a Blink or a Beads on solo lane? If I've already built a Blink, then yes, I would buy Sunder second probably. But if I bought Beads first, then I'll probably buy Blink over Sunder. Because typically my rule is for solo lane is don't get beads second, get beads fast. Because by the second time you should have enough, at least a little bit of control reduction, so you're not getting screwed over by CC. Or even if you don't have CCR, you have prots to live. And that's why I think beads second Relic is kind of a meh. And I definitely prefer beads to be the first pickup from picking up beads. Anyway, I'm not talking about beads. I'm talking about Sunder. Just a fun ability, fun relic to use. You know, it's like, oh, it's a skill shot, but not really because it's just a line. It's still easy to miss it. But no, it really helps in those early game fights if like you can get them sundered and you can take the 1v1. Then it's like, you're probably dead. All right, TP. This might be my most controversial thing. Get something else. It's like it's just falling out of the meta hard since Boost Rush is no longer available. In my opinion, like TP is always annoying to play against, but then it's like I know, okay, they win the early game, I win the late game because I have something else. I have like Blink and I have Horrific. You know, it's like, okay, well you can get back to lane faster than maybe keep like one or two more minions, but I can walk onto your carries and kill both of them, whereas you just get shredded by mine. That's how I see it. Like TP allows you to get ahead in lane now because it just you can back and then be back in lane instantly. Whereas like if you're playing if you're playing something without TP, it's like yeah, I get back to lane slower, but I only miss a few minions. It's not the end of the world, and if I force you to back when TP is down, I'm actually ahead then. And people that have TP, I noticed, generally play too cocky because like they know they have TP, and I generally find it easier to kill people with TP than that don't have TP. It's only a small thing, but it's something that I've definitely noticed over my time playing Smite. And I mean the upgrade is a bit niche, Well, not niche, but teleporting to a ward, you don't see it often, and it's not always helpful. Me and my friend meme it, and it's funny, and it can get great value if you can recall TP behind the enemy team and win a fight with it. but that's not going to be every time. I mean, I can see it being useful right now with like a Rangda's mask and then backing for what is currently Benevolence, because Benevolence League is a thing, but it's going to change back to Sundering, I would assume, tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't want to. I don't mind it being Benevolence, but I would rather it was more variety. Anyway, let's review our picks. So Beads Blink, easy. Horrific Sprint, easy second tier. Sunder, definitely applicable in the top tier. These four, this one can move up next patch. This one is always going to be a specific pick. These two are always going to be specific picks. This I hope to see be back in the meta again. I love Thorns. Not a bad relic by any shout, just more for supports than for solos. Same with this one, and this one just sucks in my opinion. Honestly, I would move it down to here personally, but I know it's to get something else rather than what the fuck are you doing with this? Because these two just don't belong on a solo laner. They belong on a nothing and on a ADC mid. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you've had a good day so far. And I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Peace.